Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. This is JB.
And I'm Chandler, and this is the Unbiased Hard Take.
And on today's Unbiased Hard Take, all basketball podcast for you guys today. Basketball season's really ramping up. With that, JB, Purdue, as everyone can see with our short take we did together watching the Elite Eight, Purdue has advanced to the Final Four, JB. So, we did it. So I can successfully say Matt Painter, his job is saved, in my opinion. We'll get into that here in a minute, JB. So with that, JB, Final Four this weekend. Crunch time in college basketball. Well, I'll make some predictions, JB. So, who do you got, JB? Purdue versus NC State.
Well, we all know it's going to be Purdue. Like, come on. But I will give NC State this much or a lot of credit, though. There's that forward that they have. I forgot his name. I'm looking it up here.
DJ Burns?
Yes. He is really, really good. He is very big, and he's very, very physical. Not as much as a lot of the other bigs that Purdue has faced, because we never faced a guy his size before in the March Madness. So it's going to be a very struggle for Zach Edey to. I feel like he's going to have a little bit of a struggle, but he's going to bounce back, and he's actually going to do something amazing. Like I'm not going to say he's not going to get like 40 plus points like he did last game. Kept us in the game. But yeah, it's going to be a really, really tough fight, because if NC State didn't have Burns, I think they would not even be here. So, but yeah, it's going to be a real struggle for getting Burns or guarding Burns, and how big he is and how physical that he is. So it's going to be a little struggle, but I think we have a chance to advance to the championship.
JB's taking Purdue in a close game, it sounds like. I agree, Purdue wins, but I think it's going to be a blowout. I think this is a 10-point or more win. NC State, like I said last week, this is also a perfect Final Four. You got three teams who really deserve to be there. Alabama is a really good team. You have UConn, the defending champions. Purdue, 1 seed as well. And then you have NC State. You have that one underdog team still barking, still kind of hoping, and it's Final Four time. So it's good to see that one underdog team, March Madness, it's all madness. So it's good to see one underdog team kind of pull through from the rest. There's always one. I thought it would be New Mexico. I apologize. However, it was NC State. But on our bracket, JB, we picked Purdue to win the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't backing down. We said it since before the first game was played. Purdue would win the entire thing.
Yep.
I'm sticking with Purdue here, and I have numbers here. Yes, you're right. DJ Burns is an athletic player. He's sort of the anti-Edey. Edey's more of a dunk, rebound, post up, do hooks, stuff of that nature. I look at DJ Burns. I watched about 20 minutes of film on him. He's nimble. He has really good footwork. He spins really good. He's quick, and he has good passing for a big guy. He's anti-Edey. They have two different total styles.
Mm-hmm.
I look at that, but you look, JB, Edey for the tournaments is averaging 30 points a game, 16.3 rebounds a game. He's shooting 51% from the field in March Madness. Clutch time, where legacies are made. And he's putting that performance up, and we have Braden Smith leading it. And Jones has had a really good tournament at times as well for us. Matt Painter's actually coaching well, making adjustments the way it needs to be. This is the year, JB. This is the year. We have NC State in front of us. Let's be honest. We kind of got lucky getting NC State, in my opinion. We could have gotten Duke. Or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? we got lucky.
And Duke is a pretty good shooting team, and that's probably where our defense is lacking, is guarding the 3-point. Because honestly, if we look at the last game when Purdue played Tennessee, they shot 11 for 26 at 3-point. And we only shot 3 for 15, which is very unacceptable. And it's like, and like I would say this, like, it's a good thing that we got Zach Edey, because no one else really did anything. I mean,
Braden Smith made some plays.
Braden Smith did make some clutch plays, and Zach Edey came up with that huge block at really crunch time. But when it came to everybody else, I mean, it's like we need more from a lot of our key player, our starting five that we had. I mean, it was. I'm looking at the stats, and it's very unacceptable, in my opinion.
So JB thinks more so to stop Purdue, you have to stop Zach Edey. You stop Zach Edey, you stop Purdue.
Yep.
Sort of a one-man show, you think, sometimes?
At times, especially with that, I'll say it again, especially with that Tennessee game. It was all Zach Edey. But when we played Gonzaga, that's probably when all of our starting players actually did something. Zach Edey with 27, Jones with 12, Lawyer with 10, Smith was going up. He was a shy of a triple-double. It's like that. Honestly, that is what we need. He shot 50 from the 3-point. He went 6 for 11. And I mean, that's the thing that we need from our role players. Like Jones, when he said he had 12 points, he went 5 for 10, 50% on the field, 2 for 6 at the 3-point, which is, But I mean, we need to start making our threes and actually moving around the ball like we did against Gonzaga. Because basically Tennessee, like I said, it was all Zach Edey. He went 13 for 21. He had 14 for 22 at the free throw. And it's like it was a Zach Edey show. I mean, Tennessee couldn't stop him. I mean, Tennessee only had it was also a Connect was there. It was a Connect and Edey show. Because Connect had 37 points. He went 14 for 31 in the field, 6 for 12 at 3-point, and only 3 for 4 and the free throw line. So, I mean, it was all a Zach Edey and Connect show.
And I agree. At times, I feel like we've talked about it before when the regular season was going on in early March Madness. Purdue's weakness is the ability to shoot and spread the floor. We're an inside the paint team. We've said that on this podcast before.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why I think it's different. If this was last year or previous seasons, we would have lost against Tennessee. Everyone's struggling. You have to rely on one player, your best player. Matt Painter would have choked and crumbled. The team would have crumbled. We'd have lost. That's what would have happened. It didn't happen this year. I think truly Purdue has matured, and Purdue is sort of rewriting history. We're known to choke, and now we're in the Final Four for the first time since 1980. That's where I'll leave at. Boiler up. We're in the Final Four. We got an 11 seed. We drew an 11 seed in the Final Four. This has been paved perfectly for us.
Mm-hmm.
The time is now. It's time to get to the national championship game. Let's go.
And I'm going to talk a little bit about the UConn and Alabama game.
We're getting ready to get there. So, yeah, I'll let you introduce that.
With the UConn and Alabama game, we all know that UConn shuts almost every team out. Seton, they went 91-52. UConn faced Northwestern 75-58. San Diego State 82-52. UConn against Illinois, 77-52. And now they're facing Alabama. I am very surprised about Alabama because they're not really much of a good basketball program. They're always a football program.
Not no more.
Not no more. They beat North Carolina. I'm going to say that again. They beat North Carolina.
One of the biggest college basketball schools.
Exactly. They beat one of the biggest college basketball teams. Michael Jordan wasn't happy. A lot of people wasn't happy. A lot of people was shocked. But a lot of people was not happy. I was shocked. Out of all the teams that took down North Carolina, it was Alabama. And to me, there's that little gut, that itty bitty gut of me telling or saying that Alabama is going to win over UConn.
Are you getting ready to do what I think you're going to do?
Mm-hmm. Roll Tide!
JB's going against...
I'm Roll Tiding. I'm choosing Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're going against our own bracket, JB. You're going against our own bracket.
I was not, like I said. I mean, our bracket's shot at this point. I mean, we got is UConn and Purdue in our Final Four, for crying out loud. Everybody else is shot, right? It's shot. Like we didn't have Alabama or advancing against after the second round, and look, they're in the Final Four, for crying out loud, and they beat North Carolina. My friend, they beat North Carolina, where we thought they were only going to not progress after the second round.
And you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but it's sort of like we passed the final exam, JB, because if Purdue and UConn get in there, we will have the national championship correct. So we failed the class, but we passed the final. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I know. With the D+.
Well, D stands for diploma.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's like ever since Alabama went to the Final Four, they beat North Carolina by 2. Excuse me. They beat Clemson by 7. I do believe Alabama still has that fight, and they're going to beat UConn.
I'm glad you picked UConn. Not UConn, excuse me. I'm glad you picked Bama. I'm glad you're rolling with the Tide, because I am not.
Roll Tide.
I'm glad, because I knew, obviously, we're picking Purdue. Our bracket had Purdue winning it all. They've been the best team all season long. And that proves it. We may be Purdue fans, but we're not biased. This is proof in the pudding that all season long Purdue's the best team. So we knew we were going to predict that game the same. But for us to predict UConn and Bama differently, I'm happy of that. Here's why I'm going UConn. Not only did we pick it in our bracket, but for the defending champions, JB.
Oh, I know.
I'll say, I'm gonna give you a hard take. UConn basketball is a better program than Kentucky basketball. Kentucky basketball, yes. Is it a bigger name? Is it a bigger brand? Yes. I don't care about brand. I care about results. Their history, Kentucky recently, in a tournament recently, speaks for itself. UConn,
not this year.
Exactly. Or the year before. Or the year before.
That.
Right. Oral Roberts, JB, has more tournament wins recently. That was a sports fact of the day. Look it up. Oral Roberts has more than Kentucky does. UConn is the best program in college basketball right now, in my opinion. overall. They have 4 to 5 players who I think are NBA prospects. Newton is their best player. He leads them in points. He leads them in assists. Against Illinois, like you said, they're slaughtering teams. Against Illinois, they had 5 players in double figures. They are not a one-man show. They are a wrecking ball. They're a wrecking ball. They obliterate it like a fucking tornado. That's my one curse word I'm allowed. They obliterate everything that comes in their path.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going UConn. And it's not just their men's program that's good too. Their women's program's in the Final Four too. They just know basketball at UConn. Their men's and women's team are in the Final Four. Give me UConn.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something about this Alabama team. It's like their defense is phenomenal.
And it is. It is.
It's just that it's like, do I want UConn? Do I still want UConn to win? Yes, I do still want UConn to win the Final Four against Alabama.
See, I don't want them to.
I don't want them to either. But
I don't want Purdue to play UConn.
Oh no! If honestly, if we do, then
that'll be hard. That'll be hard.
It's going to be a very hard game.
I would much rather play Bama.
Yes, but like I was saying this before, Alabama is a very good defensive team through this whole entire year so far. I mean, like I said, they beat North Carolina by 2. North Carolina, right? Probably one of the best colleges in basketball. Everyone probably a lot of people had them going to winning it all this year, and they had they had a really fantastic team. But yet Alabama's defense came up clutch, like they always have. And that's why I'm saying that I feel like Alabama is going to beat UConn. Alabama is going to upset UConn. It's just that itty bitty part of me is just saying, it's just like, yep, Alabama is going to be going into the championship round and beating UConn. I'm probably going to say it's going to be just like the North Carolina game. It's probably going to be 89-87 Alabama.
Okay. JB's going with a close win, and it's March Madness. None of this stuff makes any sense. If it did, then Oakland wouldn't have beaten Kentucky. I mean, you have all sorts of ridiculous things that have happened this year. So anything can happen, my friend.
Anything can happen.
We shall see. But with that, me and JB got a lot for you guys today. So with that, me and JB are going to hop over, but still basketball, to the world of the NBA. JB, Joel Embiid returned last night, my friend, and he had a very nice performance. I have the stats right here. He had 24 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists in a return, defeating one of the top Western Conference teams in the Thunder. JB, with that, he's back. They got Tyrese Maxey. They're kind of in the same spot the Miami Heat are in. They're kind of fighting for that 6th seed in the play-in. JB, with him returning, do you think the Sixers are true contenders again?
Oh, I believe so. But here's the thing. He has to be healthy. Embiid has to be healthy, and we all know the history of when Joel Embiid, when he gets injured and he comes back, he's going to get injured again. It repeats itself every time. So, for one, he has to stay healthy. And he only played 29 minutes, so they're actually looking at his, his minutes and try to get his knee slowly back together. But I do believe that, like, if it comes down to it, he's going to have a really a struggle, because coming straight after a knee surgery and doing all that rehab just to quickly get up or get in back and actually clinch their way back into, because right now they're into play-in. They're 1 seed below us right now. So, and they're 1 win behind us. So that's where, but yes, I do believe it's going to be a contender if Joel Embiid is healthy.
I 100% agree with you. I think they are 100% contenders, JB. Like you said, I'm looking at it for the season, JB. Before he got hurt, people have a short memory. The man's averaging 35 points a game. They weren't in the play-in when he got hurt. They were a seeded team.
Mm-hmm.
And let's add the fact of Tyrese Maxey's also averaging 25.6 points a game, 3.7 rebounds, 6.2 assists, and he was an all-star too. So they're getting healthy at the right time. There's less than 10 games. I don't know exactly the number the Sixers have left, but under 10 games left.
6.
So so he has a chance here to kind of get his footing down these last bit of the regular season, get his minutes, get conditioned, and then right in time for the play-in / playoffs. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. The East is this year because really there's not other than Boston, but Boston's known to choke. The NBA is wide open in my opinion, so I'm excited to see what happens. I mean, yeah, Cleveland, yeah, but they've shown some weaknesses. So has Milwaukee this season. Indiana, New York. Okay, cool, good teams. Miami's always in there, obviously, and then Boston. So the East, other than Boston's wide open. JB, Boston's known to choke in the playoffs finals times. I think yes, they are title contenders with him back. I think they're a playoff team without him. They'd probably lose first round. But with Joel Embiid, the reigning league MVP, who's still averaging 35 points for this whole season, and like you said, coming out only 29 minutes and had 24 points, and they beat the Thunder.
Yep.
Yeah, they're a title contending team with him. Yes.
But yeah. But he has to stay healthy. That's the main concern for the 76ers right now. Is like he has to stay healthy. If he's not healthy, then you might as well just kiss it goodbye. Because that's where we're at right now.
Your title hopes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I'm looking at this right here, JB. The Sixers are still 2 games out of the 6th seed of Indiana, and 1.5 games out of the 7th seed, being the first play-in team, Miami. The Heat and 76ers play tomorrow, JB. That's a
Yep.
big game because Miami wins that game, they pretty much guarantee they're the 7th seed at worst. And then, of course, the Heat still play the Pacers one more time. And if we win that Sixers and Pacer game, there we are, right in that 6th seed, JB.
Yep.
So things are starting to heat up. This is Final Four time, college championship. Purdue's still in it. Miami's fighting. Oh, play-in's coming up. This is a good time to be a sports fan, JB.
It is. It is. Great times.
It is. We will continue to monitor the NBA as always. We're going to be talking a lot of basketball on this podcast because playoffs ramping, college basketball is wrapping up. So with that, JB, we want to stay in the world of the NBA. This is our casual talk, JB. The season, again, it's less than 2 weeks away. In fantasy, I'm in the championship of basketball. So season's wrapping up. So with that, me and JB thought it was an appropriate time to release our league MVP votes and our opinion on who should win the NBA awards. So then with that, JB, we're going to start with MVP. JB, who is your NBA most valuable player this season?
Well, for me, there is a list, and it's from starting not in order. Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Giannis, and I'm probably going to say Jason Tatum. But I mean, we all know that Jokic is probably going to get it. I mean, there's really no question about it. But I would probably want to say Gilgeous-Alexander. I think he deserves it a whole lot more than what uh, Jokic is. I mean, honestly, he put him and Holcomb put OKC where they're at right now. Just them two alone. Put them, I think, where they're at. What, number 1 seed right now? Or 2?
Denver is, but they're half a game out of it. Yeah, but Denver is currently.
Yeah. So, I mean, where was OKC last year when this happened? They weren't where they're at now. I can tell you that. So, I want to say my MVP of the league is Gilgeous-Alexander.
You know, I like that because truly that Thunder team was surprising. Like you said, him, Chet Holmgren. I mean, that Thunder team's doing an outstanding job. You have Josh Giddey making plays, so they have a good team. And I'll get into their coach in a little bit. That'll kind of give you guys a sneak peek. However, me and JB disagree here. I get your take, JB. Gilgeous-Alexander's an outstanding pick. I looked at the MVP ladder this morning, and they have him number 3, Gilgeous-Alexander. They have Luka Doncic number 2, and Nikola Jokic number 1. I think, my opinion, it should go Nikola Jokic, Gilgeous-Alexander close second. I think the Greek Freak third, Tatum fourth, Luka fifth.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get into that because team success matters. It matters. It matters. Right now, at this exact moment, it could change because the West is so tight. But the Nuggets who are the defending champions, the Nuggets have the best record in the West. Better than Luka, better than Gilgeous-Alexander. At this moment, that could change as of April 3rd. So people are going to be fact-checking me here in 8 days. But I'm looking at the stats here on behind of it. Not only is he the defending champion and a future Hall of Famer, Nikola Jokic this season, my friend, let me pull it up here, is averaging a double-double. Nikola Jokic, again, the Nuggets have the number 1 seed. Team success matters. And I look in, he has, 26.4 points a game, 12.3 rebounds a game, 9 assists per game. He played 73 games. Luka Doncic has played 66 games. Yeah, he averages more points at 33, but he averages less rebounds and slightly more assists. The Nuggets are 7.5 games better than the Mavericks are. Luka's a great player. He deserves to be in the conversation. But Jokic is averaging a double-double, JB. They have the number 1 seed in the West. He went on a triple-double streak this season. I don't have that number in front of me, but that was a ridiculous streak he had. Triple-double machine. He's actually almost averaging a triple-double now. He's averaging a double-double and 1 assist away from a triple-double. And he never misses games.
Mm-mm.
He's been the most consistent player all season long, from start to finish. Gilgeous-Alexander is a good one, though. You can definitely argue that 100%. I think those two are the best options.
I agree.
If Gilgeous-Alexander gets it over Jokic, I'm not going to be mad. Like, I don't think you'll get mad if Joker gets it.
Nope.
But if it's anybody other than those guys, it's ridiculous. Gilgeous-Alexander and Jokic are... I'd actually be okay with a co-MVP. I mean, I know the NFL's done that before, and I don't know if that's a thing. NBA would do that, but I'd even be okay with that.
But yeah, I agree with you.
JB, we'll move on to the next award. Rookie of the Year. You've been looking forward to this one, my friend. Give me the Rookie of the Year. Who's your Rookie of the Year?
Well, it's not Victor Wembanyama. I mean, like I said, all these awards, I feel like it has to be a team effort, has to be based on your team success, and how good is your team success on your stat line. And Victor Wembanyama, yes, he can score, yes, he can do all this and all that, but guess what? Where is the Spurs at right now? Are they number 1 seed? Nope. Are they 2? No. 3? No. 4? No. Where are they at? Where are they at, Chandler?
Worst team in the West.
Yep. They are the worst team in the West with 18-58. Let that sink in, guys.
It's worse than Portland.
Yep. So, yeah. So, I don't think Victor Wembanyama is... I mean, honestly, if it's the NBA. They've been riding him ever since before he even got in the league. They were riding him. So, I mean, with that being said, I do believe that the NBA is just going to give it to him. It's like, congratulations. But no. You know who I think's going to get it? That I really want it to get? Chet Holmgren. I want him because he's been doing fantastic. Literally fantastic. And yes, there's been some people that's been a little bit, I want to say a lot better, but probably my other prediction is Jamie Jaquez Jr. He's been doing a fantastic job. Probably one of the underdogs of this rookie of the year. Which, I mean, it would be awesome if he got it. I mean, how long has it been since the Heat has gotten Rookie of the Year?
Oh, it's been a long time, but I don't think Jaquez is even top 3. I think he's 4th.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been doing a fantastic job.
He's been the surprise. Yes, he really hit his stride early in the season and kind of flamed out as the season went on.
Yeah, but also
he's still making plays.
Yeah, he's still making plays. But to me, I probably the second runner up is probably going to be Brandon Pozinski off the Golden State Warriors. I think he's been doing a fairly fantastic job with being within the Warriors as well.
What about Brandon Miller?
I was going to get there. Just hold on.
He's
on my list. He's on my list. Just also is Derek Lively the second. He's been doing very good for the Dallas Mavericks as well. And Brandon Miller. He's been doing also a fantastic job. So, yes, Brandon Miller has a horrible stat as well. That's why I want to say he's probably not going to get it. In my opinion, I do believe the NBA is going to give it to Wembanyama because they've been riding him ever since he was still in France. So, but to me, I want Chet Holmgren to get it.
JB, you know what? If Chet Holmgren was a rookie, I might agree with you. However,
but yes, he was not. He did not play his rookie year. That whole entire year. The NBA, they're in their regulations. If you haven't played one game as your rookie year, you're technically still a rookie.
I know. You're not wrong.
I get it. He hasn't played for how long? I mean, honestly, how long has he been in the league and hasn't played like an actual full season?
Well, I mean, he didn't play a single minute his rookie season because he got hurt in the offseason.
Yep.
So he missed all of his whatever you want to call it because the NBA doesn't consider it a rookie season. I do. I get it because you're right. Technically, he is a rookie according to the NBA's rules.
Mm-hmm.
To me, you were drafted in a different draft class than these rookies are. You've been with the coach, you've been with the organization, you know the facility. That stuff matters. It's not just going out there with a ball one day and playing the game. You have to practice, you watch tape, you have teammates, you have coaches, assistant coaches, trainers. You have to get familiar with all that. A new city, all of it.
Yep.
Gotta find a house, gotta do this, gotta move my family. That's rookie. He's not a rookie to me. He's not. That's just to me. So, JB, I'm gonna give you a stroke here. You want to know who my rookie of the year is?
Victor Wembanyama.
It is. It is Wemby. I understand team success. I do, but automatically for me, Chet Holmgren's out. He's not a rookie in my book. I won't pick him. So there goes with that one. So look, Brandon Miller, he's averaging around 17 points a game. Back in our mock draft, I actually said the Spurs should have drafted Miller over Wemby. That still remains to be seen because Brandon Miller is averaging a little over 17 points a game. He's had a very good rookie season with the Hornets, so he deserves to be mentioned. That was not as ridiculous of a take as some people think it was. But Wemby, JB, come on. I know the Spurs only 18, but the Hornets, they suck too. There's no one really other than that who deserves to be in the conversation.
True.
In my opinion. So automatically, I think JB, 21.2 points a game, 10.5 rebounds. He's averaging a double-double as a rookie. The man averages 3.5 blocks a game. He's leading the league in blocks as a
Should
rookie.
be more.
As a rookie. So
How tall is he? How tall is he? He only has 3.5 blocks.
I get it, but he's averaging a double-double, over 20 points a game, JB, over 3 blocks a game.
I get it.
He's a rookie. I don't like him. I thought he was a little overhyped. We both did. I still do a little bit. Because 18 wins, you're not wrong on that. But overall, I just don't think anyone else is deserving. Chet Holmgren's not a true rookie to me. Brandon Miller in the Hornets, Wemby's been playing better than Brandon Miller has to this point. And both teams are not very good. So I think truly Wemby deserves it. I'm gonna kind of hand it over to him for now.
And I agree. I agree with what you're saying. And yes, I'm going by the NBA's rules and their regulations and all this and all that.
I get it.
And with you pulling out that stat line, yes, Wemby is basically trying to put that team on his back. Because honestly, who else can average 20 plus points, averaging a double-double other than Nikola Jokic, putting up those almost the exact same stat line. There's not really that much people or a lot of people that actually can pull up with that stat line. Probably Joel Embiid because he did it his NBA or his MVP year. Other than that, who else? Not LeBron. Not KD.
On the rookie seasons, they didn't average double doubles. No.
Nope. But I do agree. He has been putting up really good stat line. And yes, I am being a Victor Wembanyama hater because I think he is way too much overhyped. But the stats prove that he is a freak of nature, averaging a double-double as a rookie year. And I do believe he can be a fantastic player somewhere else and actually get wins that he truly deserves with that stat line. Because if you don't look at the team and you just look at his name and his stat line in the NBA, and he's like, wow, his team must be really good. And then you look at and you just take or shows what team he's on. He's like, oh, why? I mean, it's true. I mean, look what the Spurs has done. I love Pop. I love Pop, but I think it's time to go. I think his reign, he had great success one of the best head coaches in the NBA history. He's going to go down one of the best coaches in NBA history. Probably, I want to say he's probably in the Mount Rushmore of head coaches. I think it's time for him just to retire. After this year, I think it's done. I mean, you had no success at all. Ever since your big three left or retired and is in the Hall of Fame. It's time for you to retire and stand right by next to your players. So, but
Damn. JB with the heat on Pop. And
I love
I get
Pop.
it.
I love Pop. But I mean, ever since Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Kawhi Leonard all left the team, they're basically their big three retired. Kawhi Leonard was done being a Spur, so he's been hopping around a little bit team here and there. I mean, ever since then, what has the Spurs been doing? Nothing.
I mean, and I understand the winning side because I know you're a man of wins. That's what ultimately matters to you is winning. And I get your take. I get the whole Chet Holmgren have more wins. He technically is a rookie according to standard. So I get that take. I refuse to let myself. I can't do it. I get your take though. So I like that. That's why this is a good casual talk as well, doing these. So JB, with that, we're going to kind of pivot off of rookies here, and we're going to talk about coaches, JB. Coach of the year, JB. Who do you think should be the NBA Coach of the Year?
Oh, I mean, there's not a lot of. I mean, the most with all these coaches of the years. Excuse me. It's always going to go to the team that has probably one of the best winning record, all this and all that. But to me, it's probably going to go with the OKC's head coach, Mark.
Do it.
Mark,
You have to. So I know how to say it. I will be able to correct you this time.
Mark.
It's how it sounds.
It's how
Daigneault.
Daigneault. Is that
No.
it?
Daigneault.
Daigneault. All right.
Daigneault.
So Mark
Daigneault.
Mark Daigneault. I do believe that he's put the OKC where they need to be. They're the second youngest team in the league. And he's number 2 he's the number 2 seed, right? Oh, he's the third.
So, yes.
They are right now. I'm just looking. They are in the Western Conference. They are the 3rd seed.
Right, they have the same record as the 2 seed Timberwolves, but don't own the tiebreaker. Yep. Correct.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, that's really good. To me, that is very good. But probably also the runner-up, it would be Chris Finch. I mean, he's also been putting the Minnesota Timberwolves always on that map. And also probably the Indiana Pacers head coach as well. In my opinion, he's under the radar right now. But I think it's going to be Mark Daigneault, Chris Finch, and probably my third is Rick Carlisle.
I like the Rick Carlisle toss in there because that's an underrated pick because
it is.
The Pacers. I think a lot for the Pacers, it depends on if they get in the playoffs. Even the play-in. Who cares if you're in the play-in?
Yep.
Here's a little side note. Who cares if you're in the play-in? Miami was in the play-in last year. We made the playoffs, made the finals. Who cares? You got to get in. That's all that matters.
Yep.
I would rather not play the play-in, but there's a little side note. I think that depends on that. But I absolutely agree with you. Mark, big or not, maybe. He absolutely, like you
Doggone.
said, he absolutely is, to me, the runner-up. Chris Finch is a good pick. I like the Rick Carlisle. You can always toss Eric Spoelstra in there. Malone for the Nuggets can be thrown in there also. But ultimately, the OKC Thunder, JB, are tied for the 2 seed right now. They're half a game out of first place. They're half a game worse than the defending champions.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't supposed to be good. Darius Alexander is an MVP candidate. He's an all-star. Chet Holmgren's a Rookie of the Year candidate this year, playing great basketball. Josh Giddey's a good role player. They have a lot of good talent on that team. They're young. So yeah, he's absolutely the coach of the year to me.
I agree. Yeah, Mark Donganot. He's one of the best coaches. Like I said, they have the second youngest team in the league, and they're 0.5 win away from tying with the defending champions. So
That's saying something.
So yeah, it's
he's been the coach since 2020, and he's turned that team around.
Yep, I agree.
With that, JB, we're gonna move on to most improved player. JB, who's your most improved player for this NBA season?
Oh, the most improved. I'm probably one to say it's either going to be. Oh, this is a tough one because there's quite a few. I probably want to say, not in order, Scotty Barnes, Tyrese Maxey, Jonathan Kuminga is probably be my 3 or 4. Yeah, my 4.
In that order?
Not in that order.
Ooh, okay, who do you got winning it though?
See, that's where it's the very, very, very tough one, because Scotty Barnes is a fantastic player. I mean, Toronto's really not that good of where they're at right now, but he's been doing pretty good. Actually, yeah, with the Raptors, my fault. With where they're 23 and 52, but he's been putting up amazing numbers. But honestly, I am probably gonna go with Tyrese Maxey. Him and the Philadelphia. I mean, Tyrese Maxey has put them on the map ever since Joel Embiid got hurt, and he actually kept him the 76ers still in the playoffs. Yes, they're in the play-in right now, but without Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, look where they'd be at right now. They probably wouldn't be in the play-in. But with Tyrese Maxey and kind of kept the ball rolling, and they're in the play-in still. They're 1 game behind the Miami Heat right now currently. So with that being said, I'm probably going to say my most improved player is going to be Tyrese Maxey.
You know, you stole my thunder a little bit there. So, because I was going to use the argument as well of he kind of kept the boat afloat while Embiid was out, because you want your co-star to be able to carry the load and get wins if your star's hurt, your main player.
Mm-hmm.
Like Batman and Robin. You need Robin to step up sometimes. And in this case, he did. Because he didn't just do... Now, here's what I'm going to differ. I'm going to give more of the stat line. Because I'm looking at Tyrese Maxey's numbers right here. Just from the number line, he's been delivering because he's averaging a career high in points, rebounds, and assists. He made his first NBA All-Star team this year. And like you said, he kept them afloat while Embiid was out. Now they're both back together, and they're title contenders, like we said earlier. So, I agree 100% with you. Scotty Barnes has had a decent season. as well, but he's been injured as of recently, missed some games. And the Raptors aren't very good either. They've been eliminated totally. So I think a combination of numbers, lack of injury, and wins, Tyrese Maxey is the easy pick here. Now, we've saved one of the best for last. Defensive Player of the Year, JB. JB loves himself some defense in football. JB, I know you do in basketball as well. JB, who is your Defensive Player of the Year for the NBA?
Well, for the Defensive Player of the Year, there's quite a bit of a few people that actually really come to mind. Rudy Gobert is probably one of the best defensive players in the league. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. Victor Wembanyama is probably in that race as well. Anthony Davis is pretty big one. Giannis is a pretty tough one. And our Bam Adebayo, Mr. Bam Bam himself, is in that talk as well. But I don't think Bam is probably not going to get it. It's either, to me, I want to say is probably going to be Rudy Gobert. Because he has the probably one of the best defensive ratings. But Victor Wembanyama is probably not too far behind him. Because you said he had 3.5 blocks a game?
Yes, he actually leads the league in blocks. Yeah, Wemby does.
So, and then with that being said, I feel like that the NBA and the voting always looks at the rating, the blocks, and the rebounds. They don't look at the points. They look at the defensive stats. Well, clearly it says Defensive Player of the Year. And Rudy Gobert has probably one of the best stat line or defensive rating in the NBA by far. And Wembanyama has the most blocks for the entire league. So, but to me, I'm probably going to pick Rudy Gobert as winning the Defensive Player of the Year.
We're on the same page here as well, JB. Rudy Gobert, I would love for it to be Bam, but Bam's only averaging 1 block a game. So I'm going to go down the line of people here who, like you said, Bam's a top defensive player, he is. But 1 block a game, yeah, he's averaging a double-double, but 10.6 rebounds. Gobert averages 12.9, JB. Rudy Gobert second in the NBA in rebounds per game, and he averages 2.1 blocks a game. That's best for 6th in the league. Yes, Wemby's up in there. I think Wemby could be a winner as well. If Wemby won, I wouldn't be upset. If he won Defensive Player of the Year. But like you said, winning has to matter at some point. The numbers are pretty close defensively in rebounds, blocks. I think for Wemby and Gobert, to where the team success outranks Wemby, and that's where I think Gobert kind of separates himself, because the Timberwolves, man, that's a real team. That is a real team. They are the 2nd seed. Bench has that team playing outstanding ball.
Mm-hmm.
They're real. The Timberwolves are. So it's all about wins ultimately. So give me Gobert. It's a close race, though, between Wemby and Gobert. But I think ultimately team success is what does it. So give me Gobert.
I agree.
JB, we just wrapped up casual talk. How do you think that one was, my friend?
It went good. I think it went good.
Again, what do you think of our NBA predictions? Let us know in the comments down below. What do you guys think? JB says Wemby's not the Rookie of the Year. Me and JB on pace with a lot. We both say that Jokic is the MVP. I said no. I said Jokic. You say Gilius Alexander. So what do you guys think? Do you agree with JB or Chandler? So let us know in the comments down below. With that, JB, we're going to talk about more basketball, my friend. Zach Edey. I have started to do some research for the NBA draft. Just kind of starting to get myself ready for the mock draft that we'll do in the future. I prepare months in advance. So when I looked, Those people have Zach Edey as a late first round to early second round pick, JB. A lot of people list that for being that he's kind of old school. They don't know how he'll fit into the NBA systems. He can't really shoot. He's an old school big, and he kind of struggles with his left hand a bit at times. So, JB, what's your thoughts on Zach Edey? A lot of people think late first round, early second round. What do you think? Where should Edey be drafted, my friend?
I mean, for one, I have to see closely after the league's done and see where the lottery, who's getting the first pick, and who's getting or has the lottery picks right now. So far, I don't know who. I could always look at the NBA standings and kind of guess who it's going to be. For me, see, it's definitely not going to be the Spurs.
They'll have a high lottery selection, so
they could have a high lottery, but I do not think they're not going to have two bigs. I mean, it would be a disaster if they got Victor Wembanyama and Zach Edey on the exact same team. That will be. I don't even want to look at that and be like, "Yep, I'm done." But the Detroit Pistons have the worst worst record in the NBA right now. A little bit behind the Wizards. The Hornets and the Spurs have about the exact same record with 18 wins. And then there's the Raptors with the 23, Grizzlies with the 25, which I could honestly kind of see him going to be a Grizzly, because they really don't have a big. In that sense, neither does the Pistons, neither does the Wizards. The Hornets really don't. Yeah, I kind of want to see. He's going to be a Detroit Piston. If all the NBA critics that does all this mock draft and everything, that everyone's saying that he's going to be in the late first round or early second round, I think that's stupid. Because of Zach Edey and his caliber, right? He was named the best college basketball player back to back. And yes, he does have some struggles. He does have, like you said, really not great footwork. He's a old school big. He's never. He's not good with his left hand. But that with great coaching, that could be fixed. For starters, look at Joel Embiid. He was an inside big, and now look at him. He's shooting threes. I think the game has changed. The game has definitely changed. That has definitely changed for I want to say probably for the worst, because everybody wants to shoot threes. But I do believe you really need to have one technical or one true big man to be underneath the rim to get boards and putbacks and get some easy twos. That's what Zach Edey is. He can get you boards. He can get you blocks. He's a true big. I do believe there's every team should have one true big. Because what happens if you miss a three? It's going to go to their team regardless, because you have your big outside the arc. That's my opinion. Because I do believe if you get boards, you win the game. That's how I see it. So, and with that being said, I do believe he's probably going to be. I want to see him being in the lottery, and I do believe he's probably going to be a Detroit Piston.
Well, I think so. JB's going to I'm going to get mad this topic. I'm going to get upset because JB's being much nicer than I am. JB thinks lottery, which is a top 10, top 12, whatever at the top 12, 14 pick. I think, I don't know if this is a hard take or not, he is easily the consensus number 1 pick.
Mhm.
This, to me, makes absolutely no sense. Makes no sense. I don't understand the love for international players as much as home American players. I don't want to sound bad here because Wemby's an outstanding player. Luka Doncic is a great player. Great freak, great player. Good joker. He's the best player in the league. So I think people are in denial this season because he's easily JB. I'm about to roast some people. Ready? I'm looking. Zach Edey is only the 8th player to repeat as Player of the Year in college, joining Bill Walton, Hall of Famer, Oscar Robertson, Hall of Famer, and Michael Jordan. He's the back-to-back college. He's a back-to-back college Player of the Year. So he's better than every college player. He's shown that. But I look at draft boards, and they have Rob Dillingham, who averages 15.2 points a game for Kentucky, as a better draft prospect than Zach Edey. Those people don't know basketball.
You want to know why? Because he's from Kentucky.
They lost first round.
Exactly.
So he doesn't have better stats because Zach Edey averages a double-double at 25 points a game, JB. The Final Four. He wins more. He has better numbers. Back-to-back college Player of the Year. Here's the problem. Like you said, everyone wants to shoot threes. So he doesn't do that. You know what wins in the NBA right now, JB? Big men. Look who just won the freaking NBA championship. Nuggets. Joker. You see him shooting threes? No.
Time to time.
Right, okay, whatever. You can develop an every now and then shot. That's
Yep.
not his game though. He doesn't shoot threes. He's not you know what I mean?
I do believe he is an inside passer. Bring the ball up to the court once in a while. Passes the ball because he's probably one of the most versatile bigs that NBA that has ever seen.
Greek freak.
The Greek freak is another one, but he's not a true big. I mean, I want to say big men. Right now, the league has their average is 6'11" and up as a true big, and probably want to say Giannis is kind of 6'11". I do believe he's 6'10". I want to say I'm looking this up right now.
Yeah, while you do that, you got the Greek freak. You have Bam. There's one. Bam. He doesn't shoot threes. People disrespect Bam Adebayo. He is one of the best big men in the league. The Miami Heat are in the finals twice since 2020, mainly a lot because of Jimmy and Bam. Without Bam, we don't make the finals. He's one of the best big men in the league. He gets a lot. He's underrated.
Okay, I was wrong. The Giannis is 6'11".
Exactly.
So he's technically considered a big man.
The NBA, big men win. That's what's winning right now. Zach Edey's a big man.
Mm-hmm.
If Zach Edey doesn't work in the NBA, something's wrong with the NBA. Because do you know who I seen as the number 1 pick, JB?
Who?
This is going to blow your mind. This is Alexander Sarr. Right?
Yep.
He is a French player. He plays for the Perth Wildcats. The Perth Wildcats aren't even leading their division in their conference. They're 17-11. And he averages 9.5 points a game. He's a French player. He averages 9.5 points a game, JB. He's not even a lottery pick to me. His Wildcats, he plays for the Perth Wildcats. They're not even leading their division. They're 17-11. There's a team better than them. I did my research, JB. He shoots 29.5% from 3. He's the number 1 pick, but Zach Edey's not because he can't use his left hand. Bunch of crap. People have, like I said, Rob Dillingham. Okay. keep telling yourself that. Zach Edey's the number 1 pick, JB. He's the best player in college. There's no one overseas better this year. There's not. Zach
No.
Edey is the number 1 pick.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, because when I'm saying the Detroit Pistons, I'm pretty sure they're going to be the number 1 pick, and I really want to see the Detroit Pistons get that pick, because honestly, he could play with his old college teammate, Jaden Ivey.
The Pistons do have Jalen Duren, though, who's averaged a double-double as a big man. So, I mean, you could pair them
True.
2 up.
Exactly. And I mean, you have Cade Cunningham, point guard, Jaden Ivey as a shooting guard, Jalen Duren as the power forward. They could honestly probably try to find a better small forward, because I'm looking at their roster right now. There's the Oscar Thompson. I don't think I'm saying it right. He's their small forward right now. And then you got James Wiseman as their center. I mean, yes, James Wiseman is tall. He's 7 foot. But I do believe James Wiseman can be a great bench player. Because Zach Edey will start probably on almost any team in the league right now. Because honestly, they got the Celtics. Do they have a big man? Probably not. I don't think so. I mean,
Porzingis, Al Horford still.
oh
coming
yeah,
off the bench.
I forgot about Porzingis. I forgot they've traded him to the Celtics. I mean, you got Giannis at the Bucks, but honestly, you could put Giannis straight into the power forward, small forward spot, and then you have Zach Edey playing straight center. You got the Cavaliers. I mean, honestly, they really don't need him, because they got Jared Allen. But honestly, you could put Jared Allen as a because apparently, what I'm looking at, he's 6'9", and that's their center. So you could put Jared Allen as a power forward, Zach Edey is as a center, and there you go. Got the Magic. I'm going all the way down in the East. I mean, who do they have? I'm looking at it. I really do not see a center for the Magic. So there's the Magic. You can play for the Magic. You'd be a starting center for the Magic. Knicks really don't have a center other than Isaiah Hartenstein and Jericho Sims. Who are those people? I don't know. Never heard of them. He could probably be the starting center for the Knicks. And the list just goes on. Pacers. Honestly, the Heat. The Heat could get him. And he could be the starting center. And Bam can be the power forward, which I keep saying that we need. I want Bam as the power forward, because he could be so much more versatile, because honestly, technically, he can shoot threes. We've seen him. He can shoot threes. But do we really want him to? No, because we need him inside to rebound. Because who else do we have that could rebound? No one.
You have said he should be a power forward for a long time, so I'll give you
I do.
that.
And I still say, because he is 6'9". He is 6'9", and he's our center. It's just like the Cavaliers. I mean, Jared Allen, I say he's good, but Bam is not a true center. 6'11" and up are to me technically are a true center.
He is listed as a center, though. I see you. I see what you're saying, but you've said that for a long time. You have.
He has the speed as a power forward. He can keep up with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is technically, to me, he's technically a center, but he's more of a power forward. They're putting him as a power forward than what an actual center is, as for the Lakers. But he can keep with the speed, the handles, the passing. As written, power forward, bam, straight down the line. I just feel like we need like an actual true center. And who can kind of fit that role? Zach Edey. And it's like I'm saying, all the list goes on. Probably will not start is probably the 76ers, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves. I probably not the Lakers because, like I said, they got Anthony Davis, but technically they're considered him as a power forward, but they do put him in the center quite a bit. That's pretty much it, really.
I'm just surprised because the teams you listed aren't going to be drafting high. I
Nope.
truly don't understand how he could drop. He's the best player in the draft. This draft is not star-studded. Okay, here's another one. Ron Holland. Are you familiar? He's considered. I've seen some mocks had him as the best draft choice. Some have him. Most have him in top 5, and he's well ahead of Zach Edey in every mock I've seen. JB, he averages 19.5 points a game for the G League Ignite. The G League Ignite, JB, are 2 wins and 32 on the year. 2 and 32. He's not winning in the G League. But he's the best player in the draft, and he averages less points than Zach Edey does. And Zach Edey, I don't get it. It's hate. It's hate. It's just hate on Zach Edey. He's the best player in the draft. He's going to be a stud in the NBA. That's my prediction. I've given it all the stats. I mean, god dang.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I said before, all the teams that I've mentioned that needs a center, except for the 76ers, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and the Lakers, possibly the Suns. But all the other teams that really doesn't need a big, they need a big.
So do you think he'll be the first
and the
pick,
Celtics. Celtics, the Bucks.
So do you think Edey's the first pick or more of a lottery or a first round? I used to say lottery a little bit ago, but
yeah. I mean, I probably want to say he's probably going to be a lottery pick. There's honestly, there's going to be no question about it.
But they're stupid if he's not. They're stupid if he's not the first pick.
It's stupid because honestly, I do kind of see the Detroit Pistons are probably going to be the first round pick. I will be shocked that either the Spurs will be first round because honestly, they really don't need Zach Edey. They got Victor Wembanyama. But I really do see the Pistons picking up Zach Edey to be with his old college teammate, Jaden Ivey, and being having Cade Cunningham as the point guard if he stays healthy. He really needs to stay healthy. Jalen Duren is actually, like you said, he's averaging a double-double. And with them two playing together, I mean, you have your starting 4 right there. So I really do see the Zach Edey being a Detroit Piston.
I mean, that's not a horrible take, I don't think, because he's the best player in the draft, in my opinion. That's going to be the headline on this video. Zach Edey, number 1 pick, because he is.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's the Pistons, which it very well could be, they have the worst record, close to the Wizards, but I mean, they still do. So it could very well be the Pistons. That'd be a good matchup for them. I mean, the Timberwolves have proved that you can put 2 big men together and have success. They did it with Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns, and they got flamed when they traded for Rudy Gobert. People were flaming them on the internet. And now, look at it. They're one of the best teams in the West. Yep. They proved that you can pair 2 big men together and have success. So I'm excited.
You can have 2 big men. I'm not saying you like there's like it's against the rules. No, you can have 2 big men. Yeah, you'd have 1 big man that can shoot, and the other one that could pick up rebounds and blocks. And guess what?
I don't even think you need that. I think you can have 2 true big men on this court at the same time.
They'll be fighting for rebounds, and I don't think that's really not going to be a good fit because to me you need spread the floor. You have 1 true big man, It's one true big man in the center. That's your rebounds, your blocks, your everything inside. That's what Rudy Gobert is. He's your inside man. And then you got your outside big. Karl Anthony Towns. He can shoot threes. He can shoot mid range. He could kind of pass the ball. I mean, if you need to double team one person or two people, and you have 2 or 3 other guys, that's wide open. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, that's really good ball movement, in my opinion. I mean, that's what the Timberwolves are doing, and now look at them. They're 0.5 wins away from tying with the defending champions. Same thing as OKC, but I really don't have a really true big man. That's a whole different category, or whole different discussion. But when it comes to 2 big men, they are 0.5 games away from the defending champions.
I mean, and you're exactly correct, because you're right. I mean, I get that. Karl Anthony Towns can hit threes. So that's the point, though. I think that you can have 2 big men on the court at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a world of everyone wants to shoot threes. Look at the teams that are good. They all have good big men. And Zach Edey, I think, is going to be a good big man in the NBA. I think he's the number 1 pick. I think this is not a star-studded draft. No one's convincing me Ron Holland or Sarr overseas is better than Zach Edey. It's absolutely not true. That's the media telling you that. Watch the film.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'll tell the viewers. And with that, JB, that's what we have for today's Unbiased Hard Take. JB, we talked about all basketball today. Anything else for people?
Nothing really, other than Zach Edey should be the number 1 pick. If not, he's the number 1 pick. He will be in the lottery picks. He's not going to be the late or early second, because that is truly disrespectful. Over Zach Edey and his name, and if with everyone else, they're just hating on talent, because they're looking at whole other things, and talent is not one of them. So, but he is in the Final Four. He's pushing our team, the Purdue, into trying to get into our championship in how long, I don't even want to know. Way before I was born. I mean, they were in the Final Four before I was even born, for crying out loud. 1980.
We've never made a championship. Jim.
Well, see, there we go. It'll be our first. So, I mean, with that being said, but that's all I got.
Here's what I'm going to say. Of course, subscribe, hit that bell, like us on Facebook, check out the sports facts of the day. However, JB, in a world full of basketball, exciting times, playoffs is ramping up in NBA. Got the play-in. Play-in's a great thing for the NBA, in my opinion. Makes things really interesting. So that's coming up. Final Four, championship, all that's coming. Exciting times. But with that, one thing I'm going to kind of mention off script here is that the Bills traded Stephon Diggs to the Houston Texans today for a second-round pick. And the second-round pick is not this year's draft. Here's what I'm going to say on that real quick is this. We'll get into this at a later date. However, the Bills' Super Bowl window is over. I question at times right now. We'll discuss this after the draft. But I question if Buffalo's a playoff team. That's all I'll say. I question if they're a playoff team. They've lost a lot of players in free agency on the defensive side of the ball, and now they have no receivers because they lost Gabe Davis as well, who was another 1,000-yard receiver. So Buffalo, we'll talk about them later. Houston, however, they have Tank Dell, Collins, and now Stephon Diggs, and Joe Mixon at running back. So they're loaded. So that's all I'll say there. Again, that's all I got, JB. What you want to say anything about that real quick?
Yeah, when I seen that pick and when I seen that trade, I was like, I mean, honestly, was I surprised? A little bit. But I do believe that Stephon Diggs wanted out of there. I mean, it's a good thing that they did. Got him out of there, because honestly, technically, Josh Allen really wasn't happy with him during this last season. because frankly, of what Josh Allen wanted to say, he was a crybaby. And honestly, I do kind of see he was being a crybaby about a lot of things. But honestly, I don't blame him. So, I mean, you were there. You went there to be on a stacked offense and a stacked defensive team, and you couldn't even go to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I do kind of agree. I do kind of agree that he was being a crybaby, because I mean, you went to a team that was technically a Super Bowl caliber team, and you didn't even get that chance. So now, they went to a team that is fully stacked now. Probably one of the best coaches in the league right now, with the stacked offense, with the young stud was CJ Stroud. And we all knew that wasn't gonna. We all thought CJ Stroud was not the one. But clearly everyone was wrong. But that's all I got on that take.
And I'll end on this. Again, we'll get into the Bills and the Texans at a different date. But basketball's weekend, Final Four Purdue. Next week, me and JB will be releasing our NFL mock drafts, so prepare for that. Mock draft specials next week. The second annual mock draft special, JB. So we'll celebrate that second annual mock draft special in the NFL, as scouting combine's wrapping up. Drafts later this month. So that's all I got. As always, go Pack Go. Let's go Heat and boiler up, baby. Let's get Miami Heat. Let's get that playoff spot. Boiler up. Let's get to that championship game. Let's do this. Let's win the whole thing.
And we'll end on this. Let's go Heat. Let's go Purdue. Let's go Steelers. Like he said, we need this win. We need these wins, Heat and Purdue. Let's go to the championship. Let's win it. Let's win it all this year. Finally, this is our year. Our year to actually finally win it all. But that's all we got. See you next week.
See you next week.